Troublesome individuals are all over the place. Maybe you also can be troublesome. Numerous individuals experience periods where they don't put their best foot forward. On the off chance that you need to keep up a relationship with a troublesome individual, you should build up some adapting and exchange systems. 1. Step. Approaching a difficult person. 1. Choose your fights admirably. When butting heads with a troublesome individual, choose when it merits your endeavors to talk about the issue. Few out of every odd battle should be battled. The sooner you understand this, the more joyful your life will turn into. In a perfect world, you and this troublesome individual would have the option to make peace and bargain. Here and there, this is outlandish. Inquire as to whether the circumstance is causing you enough misery that it must be tended to. Think about your relationship with this individual. On the off chance that it's your chief or another power figure, you need to acknowledge a few things you don't care for, except if it's oppressive conduct. On the off chance that it's a companion or relative, consider in the case of deciding not to connect with as empowering awful conduct or just sparing you time and distress. Would you be able to try and win this battle? You may truly need to take on somebody who enrages you, yet you have to evaluate the circumstance and consider on the off chance that it truly is one that you can resolve. Maybe the planning is terrible, or you have to figure an arrangement, find support, or think about your alternatives. 2. Pause for a second before responding to troublesome conduct. Take a full breath before reacting to gather your musings and quiet your feelings. On the off chance that your contention is going on by means of email or messaging, attempt to abstain from sending computerized instant messages when disturbed. Set aside a touch of effort to let your feeling of anxiety decline. At that point you will have the option to move toward the individual all the more sensibly. In the event that conceivable, talk about your issue someplace unbiased or while doing a movement. For instance, you could talk while strolling. This can confine negative up-close and personal connections. 3. State your requirements obviously with confident correspondence. Try not to offer the individual the chance to control you or wind your words. Expect to utilize I explanations as opposed to you allegations. For instance, I comprehend that you are baffled by my delay. I would feel a similar way. Lamentably, the tram line was down today and we were stuck in the station. I am upset for making you pause. Try not to state, you are outlandish for anticipating that me should be dependable when the tram framework was separated. In the event that you truly minded, you could have Googled my line and checked. 4. Continue being neighborly. Regardless of the reaction of the other individual, keep your cool. Try not to turn to ridiculing. Take breaths before your reactions. The key is to be simply the better individual and not let sink to their level. Additionally, the more settled you remain, the more probable the other individual will see and consider their conduct. On the off chance that you remain well-mannered, the other individual might be bound to keep a receptive outlook and tune in to what you need to state as opposed to getting guarded. 5. Stick to the realities. Keep a short, clear story that isn't stalled with an excess of detail or feeling. It is entirely conceivable you won't have the option to get the individual to see your perspective, and you don't have to attempt to persuade them. State what occurred and don't feel you have to account for yourself. Keep away from trigger themes. For instance, in the event that you generally quarrel over occasions with your sister-in-law, don't examine them. Have another person do the interceding. Abstain from being guarded. You should contend your point, yet with troublesome individuals, it is ideal to sidestep these sorts of contentions. Try not to burn through your time attempting to demonstrate that you are correct. Rather, keep the circumstance as impartial as could be expected under the circumstances. 6. Set cutoff points with them and adhere as far as possible. Defining cutoff points or limits with someone else can be troublesome from the outset, yet it's a vital aspect for keeping up a solid relationship. Choose which practices you're willing to endure, and how you will manage them. You could set cutoff points for yourself, e.g., I'll go through an hour with Mom on Mother's Day, however I won't go through an entire day with her. Or, you could define clear limits with the other individual. For instance, kindly don't offer remarks about my weight. On the off chance that you do, I'll promptly end the discussion and leave. When you set a breaking point, give a valiant effort to uphold it. Numerous troublesome individuals will keep on exploiting you in the event that they figure you won't adhere to your limits. For example, on the off chance that you've told a troublesome colleague that you don't need them to make chauvinist quips around you, don't get them out some of the time and disregard them at different occasions. Be predictable about asking them not to proceed with the conduct. You could even set a particular result, as, on the off chance that it happens once more, I'll carry it up with our. 7. Minimize your communications. Albeit ideally you can manage your difficult individual, if not, limit your time with them. In the event that you should connect, attempt to keep things short by pardoning yourself from the discussion or carrying an outsider into the discussion. Remain as positive as could be expected under the circumstances and make a point to quiet down a short time later. Acknowledge that this individual will probably never turn into the companion, associate or kin you need. As a last resort, you may need to cut binds with the individual out and out. This can be particularly troublesome if it's a nearby relative, a huge other, or somebody you work with. In any case, if their conduct is genuinely poisonous and oppressive, it may be an ideal opportunity to proceed onward. 8. Talk to partners. On the off chance that you are not causing progress with somebody and need to do as such, to talk with a likely go-between. Maybe your supervisor can help improve the circumstance. In the event that your contention is inside the family, locate a common gathering who can arrange. Endeavor to share grumblings just with individuals you trust. 2. Step. Changing your mindset. 1. Realize there will consistently be troublesome individuals. Regardless of where you live or work, you will experience individuals who appear as though they are out to hurt others. The key is to figure out how to manage such individuals. Since they are difficult to keep away from, it might assist you with identifying a portion of the various kinds of troublesome individuals so you can settle on the most ideal approach to communicate with them. They include threatening individuals. These individuals will in general respond brutally. They can be pessimistic, pugnacious, and experience difficulty being off base. These individuals flourish in power jobs or as digital domineering jerks. Dismissal-sensitive individuals, or society search for affronts. At the end of the day, they are effortlessly outraged. They regularly utilize literary methods, email, messaging, to communicate their disappointment. Hypochondriac types. They may be on edge or negative and frequently are condemning of others. Narcissists, or the individuals who prize their own advantages first. They hate bargain, are touchy to individual attacks, and might be careless in any event when you've accomplished something for them. 2. Increase your dissatisfaction resistance. The other individual's conduct is outside your ability to control, however you get the opportunity to choose how you will respond and whether to draw in them. One approach to do this is by expanding your disappointment resilience, which includes testing nonsensical convictions that may lead you to get pushed, blow up, or lose your cool. While communicating with somebody troublesome, you might be figuring, I can't manage this individual any longer. Before you respond dependent on this nonsensical idea, take a full breath, and question its legitimacy. Actually you can manage it, in spite of the fact that it might take a great deal of vitality and self-discipline. You won't kick the bucket or go crazy on the grounds that your relative is attempting to micromanage Thanksgiving or your manager is going on a tirade. You are solid and you can take it. Your decision lies by the way you take it. Will you worry until your circulatory strain starts to take off, or will you take some full breaths and hand your relative a few carrots to cleave so she's involved? At the point when you end up utilizing words like must, can't, should, need to, consistently, or never, pause for a minute to reconsider that idea. 3. Examine your own conduct. In the event that individuals constantly assault you, it may be the case that you are pulling in an inappropriate sorts of individuals. For instance, on the off chance that you are excessively contrary, other negative individuals may rush to you. Attempt to discover companions who are occupied with positive practices. 4. Be mindful of your view of others. One of your companions may appear to be troublesome, however they could be experiencing a harsh time or battling to manage a troublesome circumstance. Rather than making a decision about others' practices quickly, practice compassion by venturing back and thinking about how you would feel in their place. On the off chance that you are delicate to character contrasts, you will be better ready to hand different clashes. Practice acknowledgement by taking a full breath and taking a gander at the individual with however much empathy as could reasonably be expected. State to yourself, I see that you are languishing. I acknowledge that you are on edge and frightened, regardless of whether I don't get why. I acknowledge that you are making me on edge, as well. At the point when you acknowledge that something, simply as recognizing and tolerating that the individual is troublesome, you discharge a portion of the strain made by obstruction or attempting to battle. Envision a thoughtful purpose behind their conduct. You may not comprehend why a client just exploded at you for no obvious explanation. Rather than losing control yourself, consider that they may be experiencing serious, ceaseless torment, which gives them a very short breaker. It doesn't make a difference if the explanation is legitimate or even practical, it causes you remain quiet and not feed into the negativity. If you liked the video, do not forget to subscribe and like. Thanks for watching.